What's up, everybody? I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. I'm Anthony. On today's video, I got a really good one for you. Today, we're going to be doing 5 reasons why you should be growing pumpkins. So stay tuned. That's right, it's time to give you 5 reasons why you should be growing your own pumpkins or winter squash. Since pumpkins are a type of winter squash, I'll go ahead and use that term interchangeably throughout this video. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. The number one reason why I think everybody should be growing pumpkins or winter squash is because there are so many different varieties, there is no excuse not to try growing them. Meaning that even if you live in a cold climate or a short summer climate, there's going to be a variety that is going to be applicable to you. So the fact that you have so many different varieties is a very good thing, because if you live in the north, there is a specific variety or varieties that are going to be really good for your location. Same thing out west and same thing down here in the southeast. Down here it is very difficult to grow things because the heat and humidity and the bugs will attack most stuff. But guess what? There are still varieties that work very well down here that you should know about. If you've watched my previous videos, you know that down here we have something called the squash vine borer that absolutely wreaks havoc on any kind of squash vines, because they drill in there, they eat at it, they lay their larvae, and the larva ultimately kills the plant. Well, guess what? There is a variety called the Cucurbita mochata, which is about 5-6 different types within itself that will work just fine because they are resistant to that squash vine borer. So varieties like butternut squash, acorn squash, the Seminole pumpkin, and this thing right here, the Long Island cheese pumpkin, work well in my area because I don't have to worry about the squash vine borer and the heat doesn't kill them. For the simple fact that you can probably find a variety that's going to work well for you, it has to be my number one, because there's no excuse not to grow this stuff. Okay, so number 2, they have a very long shelf life. When I say long shelf life, I'm talking about like 3 to 6 months, sometimes even 9 months, okay? And when you grow summer squash, if you pick one of those, you put it on the side of the table, leave it there for about a week or two, all of a sudden it's going to start wrinkling, it's going to start dehydrating, slowly drying out, and maybe even start growing some sort of mold, okay? That's a summer squash. Winter squash is called winter squash because it lasts through the wintertime. Not because you grow in winter, but because it lasts almost all through the winter. So this one right here that I just picked, that I've been showing you, I picked that maybe 2 weeks ago. That will probably last me, if I didn't eat it, all the way till March, no problem. Will it get eaten before then? Absolutely. But the fact that it can last that long is a very good thing, because trying to grow things that you can store throughout the wintertime is difficult, and the fact that you can just store it how you pick it is a godsend. Just being able to go out to the vine, cut something off, put it in my food storage, and it's going to last me 6 months is wonderful, and that's why it makes number 2. Now that's going to bring me to number 3. Pumpkins and or winter squashes have a very good amount of beta carotene. When I say beta carotene, I'm talking things that your body converts to vitamin A. All right, beta carotene is in things that have that orange yellow color, like carrots, pumpkins, that kind of thing. Well, that color is a very good indicator of beta carotene. Beta carotene converts into vitamin A. Vitamin A is very crucial for your eyesight, okay? It doesn't mean that you can sit there and eat a whole bunch of carrots or pumpkins and all of a sudden I can suddenly see. No, what it means is that area between day and night, or whenever you walk into a dark room, how fast your eyes adjust, that's where vitamin A plays a humongous role. We've known this for a very long time. That's why during the World Wars, the British used to feed their pilots a whole bunch of things with vitamin A, because they wanted their eyesight to be the absolute best for flying missions at dusk and dawn, okay? Same thing when it comes down to hunting. A lot of times when you're hunting, you're going to want to hunt between dusk and dawn, because those twilight hours when a lot of the game moves. Well, congratulations. If your eyes can adjust faster, that means you are going to be better at what you're doing. So having a good supply of vitamin A is, crucial here. So that's why if you're eating these pumpkins, congratulations, you're going to have all that your body can use. So the number 4 reason why you should be eating pumpkins or squash is going to be the seeds. The seeds are extremely high in nutrition. Now, when I say nutrition, I'm talking about the fact that it has high levels of things like magnesium. About 80% of Americans are deficient in magnesium, so that means they are deficient in the mineral that actually makes their body better at controlling their blood pressure and their blood sugar. So when they don't have enough magnesium, their body kind of runs into the deficiency mode, and they have really crappy quality sleep, have stomach issues like constipation, and they have issues getting their blood sugar out, meaning they store more fat. So if you have things quality like magnesium in you, then you won't have to worry about those problems. Pumpkin seeds can definitely take care of you on that front. Now, another mineral that is found in these seeds is going to be iron. If you're a guy, you probably don't have to worry about iron levels too much because you probably get it from your diet. But females especially need to be paying attention to this part because iron is extremely important for y'all, okay? If you go through any kind of heavy menstrual bleeding, then you need to have a lot of iron because your body has to replace that blood that you've lost. Not to mention, if you are pregnant or have ever been pregnant, you understand just how important iron is to a developing fetus, okay? You have to make enough, blood to feed yourself and that baby and make sure that baby is growing sufficiently, especially in their brain department. So having iron is a wonderful thing. If you can get that source in pumpkin seeds, that's only better for you. And finally, pumpkins are an amazing source of zinc. Zinc is very crucial for your immune system function, and if you are living in an area that has high levels of like flu activity, if you work in say things like childcare or doctor's offices, then you know how important having a well-functioning immune system can be. So having a good form of zinc that you can eat daily as a snack is going to be perfect for you. Now that brings me to number 5. The number 5 reason why you should be growing your own pumpkin is simple. They taste freaking good. Yes, I like the taste of pumpkin. A lot of people like the taste of pumpkin. That's why pumpkin spice season is so loved by everybody. But you don't need to be a fan of pumpkin spice to be able to eat pumpkin, because pumpkin spices are basically like cinnamon and nutmeg. A lot of people don't like those. That's okay. It's not a big deal. But you don't have to have those to add to your pumpkin to be able to eat them. All right. Pumpkins taste really good, just split in half and roasted in the oven. But the sheer versatility of the fruit is why I'm mentioning it as my number 5, because you can do everything with it. Not only can you roast it, you can grill it, you can puree it, you can boil it, you can do whatever you really want to, and your imagination is basically the only thing that's stopping you from being able to enjoy pumpkin in almost everything, because you can put it in things like baked goods, maybe muffins, pancakes, breads. You can even smash it up into a mash and ferment it. That's right, you can ferment them, because pumpkins, especially some varieties like the one I have over here, the Long Island cheese pumpkin, are a good source of sugars. You can mash them up and use those sugars to your advantage in a fermentation. So you can make things like beer, wine, ciders, and yes, if you have a still, you can even distill those into things like brandy. Alright, so that is my list of top 5 reasons why you should be growing pumpkins, but I'm going to go ahead and cheat, and I want to add a number 6. Alright, I want to add a bonus here, and that bonus is the fact that these things can grow so prolifically. There is really no reason why you shouldn't do it, because you get so much return on investment from just one seed. When I say return on investment, I mean, look at this bad boy right here, okay? This is the Long Island cheese pumpkin I was talking about. You cut this bad boy in half, and you're probably going to pull about 200-300 seeds out of here. Well, each one of those seeds is going to make their own vine. And each one of those vines is capable of making upwards of 5 to 10 different pumpkins. So you see where I'm going at here. You know, like how corn is so, important, because you can put one kernel down and you can get multiple cobs. Same principle here. You can put one seed down and one vine will give you a whole bunch of these pumpkins. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I got left over in the garden right now. Check that out. This is 2 vines. There's one vine right there and one vine right there. They sprawl. It's completely covering up my herb garden, and it's almost going out the gate. It's also branched off right here, and it's growing up into my asparagus. And this vine is coming off to the side here. As you can see, I got one pumpkin growing, and it's growing through my remaining pepper plant up out the back to where my grapes are. Up, and I got 2 more pumpkins growing right there, and down through my strawberries. So yes, they grow vigorously. Alright, so there you have it. That is my 5 reasons why you should be growing pumpkins or winter squash yourself. If you don't have the space, if you live in an apartment, whatever, that's fine. You can always still go and buy them. Check farmers markets if you can. But yes, I absolutely love growing pumpkins or some form of winter squash. Usually like to interchange these guys right here, the Long Island cheese pumpkin, with butternut squash. That way I'm not growing the same variety every single year. But yes, they grow amazingly here down south. If you have the opportunity to check these out, they have one of the highest sugar contents out there. I can't grow sugar pies down here because sugar pies are vulnerable to that squash vine borer, but I can grow these and they taste just as good in pumpkin pie. As always, if you learned anything at all from this video, please do me a humongous favor and give this video a thumbs up. It very much helped me out and I would very much appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you are not, and I'll catch y'all later, okay? Bye.